You know that one person who never argues, never defends themselves, never raises their voice, and yet everyone in the room respects them. Everyone listens when they finally speak. That person is not weak. That person has mastered something most people will never understand. And by the end of this video, you will. Most people think silence is losing. They think if you are not talking, you are not winning, so they argue louder, they defend harder, they fill every silence with noise. And every single time, they lose respect without even realizing it. If that sounds familiar, this video was made for you. Let me tell you about a man who controlled the most powerful empire on earth. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, commander of armies, ruler of millions. This man had every reason to be the loudest voice in every room, but every single night he wrote in his private journal, not about his victories, not about his power. He wrote reminders to himself. Stay calm, speak less, react never. Here's a story that captures everything. One day, a senator publicly humiliated Marcus Aurelius in front of his court, mocked him, insulted his decisions. The entire room went silent, waiting for the emperor to explode. And Marcus Aurelius looked at him, said nothing, smiled slightly, and moved on. That senator spent the rest of his life wondering what Marcus Aurelius was thinking in that moment. And that uncertainty, that mystery, was more powerful than any punishment could have ever been. This is what Stoicism actually is, not being emotionless, not being cold. It is knowing that your reaction is a choice. And choosing silence when the world expects noise, that is the ultimate power move. Now here is what is actually happening inside your brain during those moments. When someone provokes you, insults you, challenges you, tries to embarrass you, your amygdala fires instantly. It is the emotional alarm system of your brain. It floods your body with stress hormones and screams one word: react, and most people do. They react immediately. They say things they regret. They give away their power in real time. But here is what the quiet person does differently. They pause, even just 3 to 5 seconds, and in that pause, something remarkable happens. The prefrontal cortex activates. The rational, strategic part of the brain takes over, and instead of reacting from emotion, they respond from logic. Psychologists call this reactive power. The person who reacts less controls the dynamic of any interaction. Studies on emotional regulation consistently show that people who pause before responding are perceived as more intelligent, more trustworthy, and more leadership-worthy than those who react impulsively. So that 3-second pause is not hesitation. It is not weakness. It is your brain shifting from emotional to strategic. It is the moment where quiet people take control silently. So what does this actually look like in real life? Let us be specific. At work, the quiet person does not join every debate. They do not need to prove their point in every meeting. They observe. They listen, they wait, and when they do speak, people stop and pay attention, because their words are rare, and rare things are always more valuable. In arguments, while the other person is getting louder and more emotional, the quiet person stays steady, calm, almost unbothered, and this drives the other person crazy. Because they wanted a reaction, they wanted to destabilize you, and when you refuse to be destabilized, you win the argument without saying a single word. In relationships, quiet people are magnetic, not because they play games, but because they are genuinely comfortable with themselves. They do not need constant validation. They do not overshare. And that mystery, that sense that there is more beneath the surface, pulls people in naturally. And in decisions, because quiet people are not driven by the need to be heard in the moment, they think longer. They weigh more. And the decisions they make are almost always more effective than decisions made in the heat of emotion. The loudest person in the room is performing. The quietest person in the room is winning. So how do you actually build this? 4 steps, simple, practical, starting today. Step 1, morning silence, before you touch your phone, before the noise starts. Sit for 5 minutes in complete silence. No music, no scrolling, just stillness. This trains your brain to be comfortable with quiet, and what you're comfortable with, you can control. Step 2, the 3-second pause. Before you respond to anything, a message, a comment, a confrontation, pause for 3 seconds. Ask yourself one question. Is this response adding value or just adding noise? If it is noise, stay silent. You do not owe the world a reaction to everything it throws at you. Step 3, observe more. In your next social situation, instead of trying to contribute to every conversation, step back. Watch the room. Notice who is seeking attention and who is genuinely confident. You will learn more in 1 hour of observation than in 10 hours of talking. And step 4, let people underestimate you. This is the hardest one. When you're quiet, people will assume you have nothing to offer. Let them, because the quiet person is not playing for the moment, they are playing for the outcome. And the outcome always belongs to the most strategic person in the room, not the loudest. Here's the one thing I want you to walk away with today. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is where power lives. Marcus Aurelius built an empire with this understanding. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and strategists in history knew something the average person still has not figured out: that the most powerful move you can make is to say nothing. And let your presence do the work, so the next time someone tries to pull you into their chaos, pause. The next time the room gets loud, get quiet. And watch how the dynamic shifts completely in your favor. Subscribe to Brainora, not just for videos, but because we are building something here. A community of people who think deeper, move smarter, and win quieter. Psychology, mindset, the hidden rules of how humans actually work. That is what we do here. Silence is your superpower. And you just unlocked it.